The worst part, I think, is still might be efficient to go all the way back through the desert, trigger the next fast travel point at a town instead, because if I do this thing in the desert, it'll probably just dump me back here when I'm all done. Maybe I shouldn't speed up the next battle I get into, just to showcase how quickly you can take on these guys if you're feeling a little risky and just kind of tired of their shenanigans. So here's how to defeat the Gust Manicore in a single turn. Cutting Edge, just throwing Parade, I think any attacking Djinns would do the trick, and then unleashing the summon with Mia. Not necessarily in that order, but I think just like taking advantage of its water weakness and getting 2 summons, getting a tier 4 summon in, and a powerful attacking synergy. I don't even think we needed the attacking synergy. The summon does the majority of the work. So, I mean, this might be one area you can cheese with fast. This might be one of the few cases in Dawn of Djinn that you can cheese with summon rushing. But considering how tedious it can be, I do not blame you. And for your own sanity, I actively encourage it. Like, you only really need to fight one of these before getting the picture. So I do not blame you for summon rushing all the other ones. Made them that way for a reason. Okay, so it's not quite one summon in of itself that's enough to take it out. When I went for normal attacks rather than the attacking Djinnies, he was actually able to get an attack in before I finished him off. Definitely stuff worth keeping in mind. Oh, that was not as bad as I thought it was. But we're already back here. So, considering everything that happened, I should have just gone ahead and showed this off first. But this is the area that you could normally go to if you intentionally sabotage the boat when going from Kylie to Toby. We got these tornadoes. This is actually an Easter egg. This is actually pretty hidden to the point where I've noticed that when people play this game blind, unless they're exclusively told, I rarely see people figure this out on their own. I can't even remember if I did it without a guide back in the day, but your only indication that this behaves any differently than the other tornadoes is that it's a different color. But if you let it carry you away, instead of taking you back to Sholia, it takes you to somewhere new. Technically new, if only by name, even from original Golden Sun. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vortex Isle. Well, trust me, if I could, I would have had a lot of fun making this look different as well as play differently. But despite the fact that visually it'll just be a different island by name, our trials along the way are drastically different from vanilla Golden Sun. I'm actually a little disappointed that I didn't come here earlier, because I made it in a way where the first few floors are technically possible if you come here as early as possible, but I tried to make them as brutal as possible while still feeling like they were possible to beat. So if you, for whatever reason, felt Dawn of Djinn did not have enough challenge, purposely make the boss unbalanced so you end up here early and take on as many floors as you can. It's a treat. I'm still strongly considering making a video just so I can show off how much more fun it is this way. And who knows, I don't think I've rarely, if ever, actually tried this out on my own. Oh, I see. Wow. Really? I don't have catch in this form? Well, I do now, and that's all that really matters. Alright, since the dungeon layout is essentially the same from Vanilla Golden Sun. Alright, that's how we get this. Which I don't want to use right away. Okay, everyone actually has their djinns on standby, so this is a perfect time to figure out who's fast and who's slow. You're both pretty slow. I think I can use you for healing a bit more often, so I think you could benefit from the speed boost a tiny bit more. Does anyone still have a water life? Alright, yeah, Ivan has 2 of them. Oh, I could have used up some of these cookies that are just clogging up my inventory when we were in the Sholia Desert, instead of, like, antitoxins. Especially because now that I remember there's actually enemies in here that can poison us. I guess it's not as big of a deal now that we have Clover. Speaking of, let me re-equip you while I'm thinking of it, because this might be the best chance I get to properly show it off. And I think for these first few floors, I'm just feeling up to playing with the classics. So let me just get everyone so that their djinns match up with their elements real quick. And by real quick, I more so mean cut it out so it feels real quick. So that's one path. And we got... yeah, I guess we do have to fall down one of these paths to get that chest. I don't feel like it's worth it if my memory serves, but I'll feel bad if I skip it. Yeah, that was totally worth making another climb back up here. Trust me, if I had more power over this game, I would definitely use it. It's not even... there's definitely some things that I could do, but I just choose not to because I don't have the... it would require me using tools that I'm not too familiar with yet. But trust me, if I had infinite power... if I had infinite power and infinite knowledge over this game, all the things we would do with it. So, if you're not familiar with Crossbone Island, what this dungeon is called in Vanilla Golden Sun, it's basically a gauntlet of 10 floors. Every time we go through one of these doors, we're going to get into a mini boss fight. And on the other side of the door is a puzzle that we have to solve in order to progress, with some optional harder puzzles within them for lots of goodies. So let's get started with this. So right off the bat, we're getting a mix of vanilla enemies. We're getting a mix of enemies that would appear here in Crossbone Island, but on much later floors. This is only a taste of things to come. Plus, some of them may have new gimmicks along the way. So let's just lead off with a chasm for safety's sake. Got Breeze. I don't expect this to be too hard, because, as I believe I've said in the past, I have made this dungeon so that the first few floors are possible to do much earlier than we're taking them on before, but it is still harder than vanilla, so it is worth being safe than sorry. Especially because I just realized I wasn't fully healed before going into this. Yeah, those attack boosts I think are already a vanilla thing and kind of scary in of itself. Okay, not my greatest use of Chasm, I'm not gonna lie. But I think we can find ways to alleviate it, so maybe we'll get lucky and paralyze you. I guess we could try to put you to sleep too, but the more important thing to do is use Draft to cancel out that attack boost. You know, maybe just for the fun of it, get Shiver in here and hope that we can negate, maybe make the attack on it even lower, or just flat out make it unable to cancel out any attack boost it would normally get. Kind of funny that everything but the center target actually got some from that attack boost, but more importantly, we status both of them, so That alone is going to make this fight much easier. In fact, I think we can just gang up on the Hobgoblin. Not really worry too much. Ironically, like, all these more powerful multi-range Djinnies are working to my detriment rather than to my advantage, because I am slightly concerned about accidentally waking up the sleeping bear. I guess I could use... I haven't used Hail yet, and I guess I could use that to, like, make chipping this guy down even easier. Is wind really your weakness? I guess so. Wow, this is actually kind of sad. We didn't even, like, boost our defense at all that turn. Well, we have defense boost, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I was kind of afraid of this, but we can expect these first few floors to be a little bit easy. Oh, this would be a cool time to have Void, you know, not on standby. But I mean, we have a summon with practically... We have a tier 4 summon with almost all of our party members. Why not just go all loose and see what happens? I sadly wouldn't be surprised if this, like, just finished the job off completely. Oh. That was even more effective than I thought it would be. You gotta take my word for this. If we were to come here as early as possible, this fight would be much harder. The key to this fight, as you're probably seeing on screen, is to micromanage those Grizzlies before they get out of control with their attack boosts. So, like, either statusing them kind of makes them a joke, or just using Draft to keep their attack at a manageable level. Now for the less interesting part for previous Golden Sun fans, but Crossbone Island as a concept, even in vanilla Golden Sun, is a real fascinating concept, so I say it's worth fully exploring. Like, this is... If you thought the puzzles were too easy in Golden Sun, oh that's right, I actually had L on something besides move earlier on. Let's just say that this dungeon is really going to test your mettle. There's a lot of synergy that doesn't get too much use in this game, but this dungeon really puts a lot of those... This dungeon gives a lot of those synergies a second chance, forcing you to use them in situations that you haven't before, or at least lets you revisit, or at least access an encore to certain puzzle tropes that we've seen throughout our adventure. And I can appreciate it for that. I was gonna say, I can appreciate it for that. Alright, so hard not being nice as aside. This first room is a little tedious because, like, whenever you go the wrong path, you gotta, like, go out of the room and go back in to reset it. And don't get me started on if you accidentally forget which ways you move the logs and which ways you haven't. Adding a little extra tedium to all this. If I recall correctly, this might be the one time it doesn't matter, just in case. I think this is the way that we gotta move it. Yeah, because this is to get out of here, so it's a little tricky because synergy in Golden Sun can be a little bit finicky, but we gotta move. We gotta use move in a way that we can actually move this tree slightly closer to us. So when we go back around here, we can actually move the tree out of the way proper. And what's our reward for going through all this? Cause all the items that we got already. Neat. Because I'm getting mixed up with a future floor, but I thought we got something pretty cool right away. Oh, I was looking at speed rather than defense. It's fine. It's like only 2 extra stats. It's not... They add up over time, but one mistake isn't going to be that terrible.